Hello, welcome back to the Rosewood Legacy Dead of Night. Today, we are playing with Pandora, and right now she was just going to pay the bills because we were about to lose our power. We don't need to worry about that right now. But while she was looking through the mail, she did find a bit of an interesting letter, which you saw just now in the cinematic. It seems as if it is from Melvin Balderas, who is the curator of the museum that we stopped by. He must have sent it before his death. We aren't sure how he got our address. There's still a lot we don't know about him and his methods and how he does what he has done. But I guess we can only be grateful that he tried to help us-ish in the end. But after hearing the things in the letter, Soren is feeling incredibly uneasy about it. He did die. Melvin did die. His things are gone, and he predicted that would happen. And he predicted that the perpetrator would be Nathaniel. Would Nathaniel really kill him for telling us information? Nathaniel's looking more and more guilty by the day. I can hear Rio singing right now. Oh, he's totally serenading her right now. Okay. He's happy to hear it, but she is not doing her best right now. As we know, I know I am kind of in a dead horse here just over and over saying, Isadora feels bad. But ain't that the truth? At this point, everybody is living in her apartment because they're worried about her very much. She is struggling to move, and she is constantly losing blood. She just cleaned herself up from another bleed from her ears, nose, and she's been coughing up some blood as well. They don't say it to each other all that much, but I think everybody knows that time is running out. I think once it becomes night, we're going to go with Soren, and we're going to talk to Nathaniel, because we have not seen him since, I believe, episode 12, when we were confronted by him at Rio's gig. Since the cabaret is closed down, we don't really know what he's up to. Not that he's normally very active at the cabaret, and to be honest, I don't know if we ever really know what he's up to, because over time we have noticed that we know less and less about him than we thought we did. So who really knows what he's doing now and what he's been up to? But we definitely should see if we can talk to him, because we've said this before, at this point we don't have too much to lose by speaking to Nathaniel now, because we know that he can't hurt Isadora. She's already hurting enough, but also he can't really do much to the vessel. She's been bedridden, and I feel a little bad about that because she's the protagonist. There's not much she can do, but the other vampires are also very important to the story, so following them isn't that bad. And, you know, like, I didn't really think about the fact that she'd be bedridden, but I can't really do much about it because that is the only logical thing that makes sense right now for her to be just absolutely unable to do anything. If she was able to do anything, that just wouldn't make sense with the story, so that's my bad, but we'll get some action going with the other guys. Rio has been in her room since I started recording, just kind of chilling with her. He's feeling a lot of things, I'm sure. I think Isadora feels really guilty not being able to do much right now. The way she's looking at him is so sad. Like, she's just so... It's horrible. I'm sorry. Pandora's been worrying a lot about what's going on, and she's been thinking a little bit about some things of her past. She's not going to bring it up to anybody yet, but she's going to be thinking about it. So I did just catch Soren and Pandora arguing. They were throwing insults at each other. And, well, it started because Pandora was looking for drugs on him, because apparently that's a thing that she has to do for her bouncer career, and she's been doing it over and over and over. But, yeah, they started yelling at each other. So, what I'm gonna take that as, they might have some conflicting opinions on how we should handle Nathaniel. Because of course they have always been the two that are closest to Nathaniel, or who had his trust most. Pandora has always been more doubtful of him, Soren has not. And I think they just have maybe different ideas of how we should confront Nathaniel. I think Pandora is a lot more confrontational, but she also wants to wait for the right time. And Soren kind of just wants to go over now and see what they can find, which I'm not 100% sure what Pandora's plan would be, but we're gonna go with Soren's plan because he has free will and he's gonna go ahead and do that. So now that it's around nighttime, we're gonna head to the cabaret, which should be completely shut down now, but Nathaniel should still be living there, which is interesting to think about considering the amount of times that a murder takes place there. Okay, here we are at the empty, dark cabaret, and we're gonna go see Nathaniel. Now, there's yet another secret location that most do not know about, but Soren does. Nathaniel's bedroom. Only Soren knows of it. Soren was always Nathaniel's right-hand man after all, even if Nathaniel kept things to himself. If he would tell anyone about these type of things, it would be Soren. The Nathaniel that Soren thought he knew, who shared honesty and values of the cabaret, is a facade that has faded. But Soren hopes now, in the time that is said to be the final moments, he will have some honesty for the person who always trusted him the most. Nathaniel, he starts, I know you're in there. And the coffin opens. It's been a while since you came to visit. What do I owe the pleasure? It clearly isn't serious. Soren wonders exactly what he knows about what Soren's been up to, and if he knows that Isadora knows a lot of things. There's a lot of things to be said, and Soren isn't exactly sure where to start. Maybe we should just start off with asking him about the beginning of a lot of the secrets that we have learned all started in the archive. So maybe that's the place to start. Are you aware that there's a secret passage in the archive? Nathaniel furrows his brows. Who the hell told you that? Who told him? Isadora, but that is genuinely the last thing Nathaniel wants to hear. I saw it. You didn't think one day we would find it? You know I go into the archive sometimes. Pandora too. Nathaniel pauses, choosing his words deliberately. I didn't care if you found it. There's nothing to hide. Does he think Soren wouldn't have checked what's inside the passage? It's catacombs. Why the hell is there a catacombs under the cabaret? Nathaniel pauses once again to store the deceased. We're vampires. Might I remind you, Soren? He says it as if that explains anything. We drink plasma packs, not from humans. Soren reminds Nathaniel. And you earnestly believe that it's always been like that. So you're saying he used to be a traditional vampire, but that doesn't really answer the question. Exactly how long were you drinking human blood that you were able to fill a catacombs full of bones? He asked. Nathaniel looks like he's having a little bit of trouble answering these questions in a non-conspicuous way. Nathaniel's having trouble trying to keep together the story that he put together on the spot. I brought some from my home when I moved to San Myshuno. You brought bodies from Ambrosia Hollow? Nathaniel looks genuinely surprised for a second. Soren was hoping to probe a little bit more without revealing how much he knows, but that did slip. What have you been doing? He asks. Pardon? What the fuck have you been doing where you know that name? I explored the archives a little. You do realize you keep newspaper clippings down there from Ambrosia Hollow, don't you? Nathaniel lets out a deep, unpleasant sigh. No, I did not. Someone else used to manage the archive. He must have brought them. I didn't know that, because unlike you, I don't have time to look through the entire archive. Soren wonders if this unknown archivist that Nathaniel speaks of is that museum curator, one who seems to believe Nathaniel was going to kill him. You know, for a while there, I didn't go to the archive because I thought you told me everything. Nathaniel smirks, a small laugh escaping him. That's your wrongdoing. You didn't think the fact that I never told you a single part of my past was strange? No, Soren says, because I really did believe in you. Oh, don't get soppy with me now. We're past that. There's no more trust here, right? I don't know what you know, Soren, but I'd wager guess that you know more than what you've just admitted to. Would you like me to admit to what I know? I'd like to know what you know. Who told you? How much shit have you been learning behind my back? Will you tell me more to my face if I tell you? Soren asks. Nathaniel smirks, amused. Sure, he sneers. He does not sound honest, not one bit. But what could possibly be the consequence of telling him what we know? If he knows that we know about the vampire god, he will help us kill it, or whatever we need to do to stop it. He clearly isn't a big fan of it, he's not a believer like the others, and he can't hurt Isadora anymore. Oh, where do we even begin? Soren sighs. There's a vampire god inside of Isadora, and it's going to destroy San Myshuno. Nathaniel's red in the face and shocked again. Inside Isadora? His voice is small. For the first time, he sounds scared. You didn't know that? I didn't know you knew that. Is Isadora now? Soren gulps. Nathaniel's tone sent chills down his spine. We know he hates Isadora, but now it all seems a little further than that. The reason you've had a grudge against Isadora this whole time, it's because she's the vessel, isn't it? No, not exactly. She's too far invested and curious about this whole thing for her own good. I thought all the things I told her about not getting involved in some type of mole attacking her would get her to look in the wrong direction. But no, somehow she found it all out. He knows his eyes. Because I'm assuming she had help. I'm glad we helped her. Soren snaps back. Because the vampire secrets you were hiding from her, you were hiding from everyone. What did you think was going to happen when that thing struck again? Were you going to just let it kill us? Your closest advisors? Well, if you didn't turn out to be such rats, maybe I would have taken you, Pandora, and Rio with me out of San Myshuno. But Pandora has many of her own convictions in spite of mine. You've been helping the vessel become self-aware. And Rio, he sighs. Rio was the worst mistake I ever made. What the hell does that mean? Soren wants to unpack that, but he does. Nathaniel will elaborate. Even more strange. You don't think your worst mistake was letting that vampire god loose? Nathaniel raises his eyebrows, amused with the accusation. Who told you that? A realization dawns on him. Fucking Balderas! So, did you let it loose? You're really getting on my nerves, Magnus. I tried my best to keep everyone out of this for as long as I could, but you just had to put your head into every secret of mine, didn't you? All of you. I tried to keep all of you away from this mess. I don't think you really thought you could keep the end of the world as we know it from us. Well, I hoped, Nathaniel replies. Soren could tell there's a bit of remorse creeping into his voice, and it hurts to hear a little. His brain is growing through 1,000 possibilities of how the situation could have come to be. Was it an accident? Did Nathaniel once have loved ones he lost to the creature? How long has it been haunting him? He can't help but feel some sympathy for his old mentor. You know what's interesting, Soren? I was going to pick you to lead the cabaret next. Not Pandora. Oh, definitely not Rio. You. Soren feels a deep pang in his chest. That's what he wanted to hear. He wanted to hear that for years. But now, the cabaret won't exist anymore after this. And I think you know that. You know better than any of us. You talk just like the folk back at the Hollow. All that ominous crap for them to get wiped out and me survive another 100 years. But hey, who knows? Maybe you're right this time. Maybe I'll finally get a taste of its wrath. We're entering the end of the world. His tone is mocking, but there's also something else lingering underneath. Fear, perhaps. Are you not afraid of it? Soren asks. Oh, terrified. But I don't have to worry about it like you do, because, unlike you, I'm not going to try to play hero. I'm getting out of here. Why don't you just leave now? Why are you still here? The cabaret's closed down and nobody trusts you anymore. Because the vampires who worship that thing would be very dissatisfied if I left. If I leave too soon, they might be able to find me and drag me back. If I leave right before it starts, he smirks. And I'll know it's about to start when that girl you're all so fond of dies. I'm getting out of here. Aren't you the master vampire? How come they can drag you back? Oh yes, but belief is a scary thing. If they want me to witness the destruction, you better know they'll make sure I do. You'd know that if you've ever faced off against 8 angry, mentally mad vampires. He pauses, considering. You know, you can leave too. I was your mentor, wasn't I? Listen to my advice one more time before you completely throw my past guidance out the window. You should get out of here too. It's interesting. His tone has been bitter and condescending the whole time, but it seems like maybe he genuinely does want Soren to get out alive. But that just really doesn't sit right with Soren. It will kill thousands if we let it. Oh, you are so naive, Soren. You aren't letting it do anything. You cannot prohibit it from doing anything. Get out or die trying to save this place. There's no other option. This is discouraging to hear from the person who knows the creature the most. Are you sure there isn't something we can do? Even I know very little about the inner workings of that thing. Unless you somehow can find information that no one else has ever found before about the creature, you're not going to be able to stop it. I tried, trust me. I tried to find its weakness. I never could. I don't have anything more to share with you. I know you wish I had all the answers in the world, but I don't. Even if I did, I don't know if I'd give them to you, but as we stand here today, I have an utter lack of knowledge of what we're all about to face. I'm not going to face it, of course. I'll be getting out of here. And as I said, you should too. Nathaniel, please, if there's anything. Nathaniel completely ignores him, and it seems like he is going back to sleep. Well, shit. So back home with these two, just now waking up, they realize that Isadora is having another bleeding. She is feeling extremely dizzy, so she's just gonna take a nap right here. Wants to hear what Soren has to say, but she isn't even aware that he's home yet because he just came home and she's already passing right out. Rio is so upset at the situation. This is the person who he sees as the love of his life, and she is suffering so badly. We are undoubtedly reaching the end. The end of Isadora, the end of San Myshuno, the end of, well, everybody if we can't think of anything to kill this creature. We don't have much more time. While Isadora rests here, she's getting a call. She doesn't notice because she's absolutely blacked out, just so tired. But she is getting a call. It's Felix. He's calling from home and she's not picking up, but he's leaving a message because the other night he went to the cabaret as he normally would and it was completely closed down for an indefinite amount of time, they said, and he knew after looking online that it was sudden, so he's a little worried, especially because he hasn't really heard from her. The fact she's not picking up is certainly not helping. Soren is recalling his earlier conversation to Pandora and Elena. As I said earlier in the episode, Pandora has something that's been troubling her. For the entirety of her time as a vampire, she thought extensively about how she was going to save people. Save the people that she loves when they face death by turning them. She hasn't loved anyone since her friend who had died beforehand, before she turned. But now she's faced with this situation that she's been planning for all this time. Things aren't quite the same, and she's not sure what to do. While Pandora and Isadora are having their conversation, Rio's over here in his own little world. He can't help but reminisce about everything that Isadora has helped him through, and just feeling horrible that he hasn't found a way to help her through what she's going through, which he can only imagine is worse than being a vampire. Especially because he made it out, and he's really, really worried that she's not going to. Isadora helped save him with the cure, and now what can he do to save her? Suddenly, an idea hits him. He's gonna go ahead and pull out that last vampire tome. He did look at the book a little bit after the realization and of what's going on with Isadora, but it's a little difficult to go through so many books, because there's 4 of them, and he was just looking for information on the entity and its possession. But now a thought has struck him. And as he's reading it, he does see something that he was thinking about. He rereads. Right. The cure meticulously attacks the vampire part of you. Now, it does look like the reason that it works is because it attacks the vampire part of you and doesn't affect the human part of you. And he's wondering, could this apply to the creature? Isadora is fully human herself, but there's a vampire part of her, and it's the creature. We might be able to use it to get that thing out of Isadora. Now, he doesn't believe that it will kill it. He doesn't believe it will do much at all, but it might save Isadora from dying of being the vessel. Discover the ultimate vampire girl. Girl, we already did that. You're like 5 episodes too late. But I guess Isadora's the one who originally read it. The creature would probably be okay, but it would be evicted. He's gonna have to talk to the others about this because, well, it could go very, very wrong. He gently wakes up Isadora, book in hand. He helps her sit down on the couch, next to Elena, who checks in on her. She's checking for weapons and drugs again. Girl, do I have to make you I mean, honestly, they should quit their jobs because they are not doing it anymore. The cabaret's closed. So right now they probably don't have jobs. So I'm gonna have them quit her job because I need her to stop doing that. Gun found? This club goer is packing a gun? Soren has a gun? Okay. I don't judge. Not at this point. I don't care. Soren, I don't know where you got it, but keep it in your pocket, buddy. It might help. I don't know. Everybody's here. Pandora is still feeling a little weird about what was going on earlier but if Rio is sitting him down right now because he has an idea, she is all ears. And so is Isadora with that dried blood all over her face. With high spirits and a bit of excitement, Rio is explaining what he read and how it would attack and probably not hurt the entity, but it might get it out of her body. This is all just a theory, and he doesn't consider himself the smartest guy, but he thinks it might work. Isadora is so appreciative, but she isn't so sure. How do we know that this isn't the worst thing we could do? It may be dangerous for you guys if now it's inside my body and it's killing some people at the cabaret, but what happens when it gets loose? It might just choose a different vessel, or as some of those other vampires said, it might be time for it to not choose a vessel and start attacking. If we let it out of my body, it might speed up that process and it might just choose to sooner eradicate us. What if it comes right out of my body and kills you all? It's clearly a very violent creature. That's true, Pandora says, but we need you alive. You know my perspective, you know how I feel. I am 100% willing to do it. To try it, if it will get that thing away from you. Elena agrees. Isadora, I'll do anything to keep you safe. To make you safe. You're not safe now. Aw, they're so cute. And now they're tickling. Okay, this feels like a bit of a morbid time to do that, but honestly, sure, whatever. Elena's agreeing. I'm willing to do it. We can take precautions so that we're not in its line of sight, but I don't know. Soren is just a bit concerned about how it will affect Isadora. What if when it comes out of your body and it sees that you're still alive, it tries to kill you? Oh, these love bugs. I didn't even know that was an animation. Where's this from? Oh my gosh. Isadora's dying, girl. Isadora's dying. Pandora doesn't hesitate. I'll stand guard. I'll get every weapon I can possibly think of, and I don't know if it'll kill it, but it might deter it, or I don't care. I will make sure that it doesn't hurt Isadora. This is a bit sudden, but are we all in agreement that we can try this? I don't know. Isadora is still unsure. I don't want to risk things getting worse. And once it comes out, we have no idea how to deal with it. What could we possibly do to prepare for it coming out? Isadora is going to leave you soon anyway, when you die. We don't have much time left with you. We're gonna have to face it sooner or later, and it's gonna be soon regardless. I'd rather you be alive. And the others agree. All of them. Isadora pauses for a second. Okay, fine, we can try it. What's the plan?